More and more goods are being transported right across Europe, mainly by road. Trucks are increasingly the cause of congestion on Europe's main roads and motorways. There are ways of reducing the burden on the roads and the environment. With so-called combined transport, only a part of the freight's journey is by road, the major part is by rail. Currently, mainly freight in containers and on swap body platforms changes mode, with the terminal's cranes reloading from trucks onto environmentally friendly trains. The problem, over 60% of all trucks on the roads use semi-trailers, but 98% of these cannot be loaded by crane onto a train. Only 2% have been technically modified to allow them to be transported by rail. However, refitting costs several thousand euros and leads to a reduction in loading capacity. But what about the other 98% of all semi-trailers? Can these be transported by train without the need for costly refitting? The engineers Hans-Jürgen Weidemann and Michael Bayer asked this question in the late 1990s and went on to develop the cargo beamer, a system that has the potential to revolutionize freight transport. The principle of the cargo beamer system is very simple. Instead of lifting modified semi-trailers by crane and loading them one by one onto a freight train, normal semi-trailers will in future be shifted sideways onto the freight train in parallel, as can be seen here at the Works terminal in Leipzig. This is how reloading works. The truck arrives at the cargo beamer terminal. It parks its semi-trailer in the waiting pallet, a type of open-ended container, which is subsequently moved with the freight onto the railway train and then secured. The truck can then immediately leave the terminal again. At this point, the train has not yet arrived. Train and truck do not have to wait for each other. Once the train arrives, it can be loaded and unloaded at the same time. For a whole train, this procedure takes just 15 minutes. This is less than a tenth of the time it would take to turn around a train using a crane. This means no waiting times for trucks, and the train is stationary for only a short time. Other advantages: loading can take place on electrified tracks under overhead cables, and a cargo beamer terminal takes up far less space than a conventional one. For transport companies, cargo beamer will mean above all one thing: reduced costs. Compared with single-mode road transport, cargo beamer will lower the cost of a unit of freight by more than 10%. The European Commission is supporting cargo beamer. With money from the EU programme Marco Polo II, it's funding the project Efficient Semi-Trailer Transport on Rail Baltica, or ESTRAB for short. The project will test the cargo beamer technology and launch it onto the market. Based in Leipzig, the cargo beamer system will operate on an east-west route between the Netherlands and the Baltic states. Cargo beamer also solves the problem of incompatible rail gauges. Eastern European railway tracks are wider than in Western Europe. This makes it necessary to reload trains at the border, a competitive disadvantage for the railways compared with the road freight transport. Cargo beamer shortens the reloading procedure, which normally takes 2 to 3 days, to less than 1 hour. The Saxony-based Cargo Beamer AG is cooperating in the ESTRAB project with the logistics company Deutsche Bahn Schenker Rail and the Achema Group, the largest transport company in Lithuania. By 2014, the project will have shifted over 700 million kilometre tons onto the railways. However, Cargo Beamer's vision goes much further. A network of around 70 cargo beamer terminals is planned, and over 200 cargo beamer trains will be operated throughout Europe. Cargo beamer is the beginning of a freight transport revolution, benefiting the environment and the economy, and leading to less congestion on the motorways.